Hello everyone, my name is Ling. Now I'm going to read Confusing Words in Action. 48. Intense, intensive. These two adjectives, intense and intensive, are quite similar in meaning as well as in spelling. You use them both to talk about things that are concentrated and powerful. However, these are differences in the things they describe. Intense means very strong or concentrated. You use it to talk about such things as physical forces, human emotions, and human relations. Firefighters were driven back by the intense heat. She was filled with intense hatred of the man who had betrayed her. Intensive means concentrated on a particular area, activities, or subjects and vary throughout. You use it to talk about human activities that can be organized in a concentrated and throughout way, such as agriculture, medical care, and teaching. Herbert spent 3 days in hospital under intensive care. Intensive farming requires the use of large quantities of fertilizer. Mike Taylor offers his students an intensive driving course. It lasts 1 week. Within that time, the course aims to teach them to drive well enough to pass the driving test. This requires intense concentration on the task in hand. Mike's people spend the whole day driving and often part of the night as well. But the effort is worthwhile if, at the end of the week, it brings success. 49. Irritable, irritated, and irritating. These three adjectives are sometimes confused, although they all relate to the verb irritate, which means to make angry and upset. If someone is irritable, it is easy to make them angry and upset. Why is Jane so irritable this morning? Did she not sleep well? An irritable old gentleman in the row behind us kept telling us to sit down. If someone is irritated, something or someone else had made them feel angry and upset. I was feeling a little irritated that morning and was perhaps not as polite as usual. If something or someone is irritating, they make you feel angry and upset. The children in my class have been particularly irritating this morning. Charles has an irritating habit of repeating what you have just said to him. Come in for heaven's sake. Squeak, squeak. Are you feeling a bit irritable today, sir? Every time that door opens or closes, it makes an irritating squeak. No need to get irritated, sir. Have the solution. 50. Judicial, judicious. These adjectives are sometimes confused because they are similar in forms and related to each other in meaning. You will notice that they share the first 3 letters with the words judge and judgment. Judicial means concentrated, connected with laws, courts, or judges. The government has promised a thorough reform of the country's judicial system. A judicial inquiry will look up into the events that led up to that disaster. Judicious meaning showing good judgment and prudence. Can we trust them to make judicious use of this very scarce resource? I think it was a judicious decision under these difficult circumstances. Henry's future depends on a judicial decision. Henry's lawyer had argued that Henry was not a bad young man, but had been led astray by others. The jury has found Henry guilty, but would the judge send him to prison? The judge is very merciful. She gives Henry a suspended sentence and wants him to be more judicious in his choice of friends in future. 51. Legible, readable. You both use these adjectives to talk about reading. Both legible and readable can mean able to read, that is large enough to clear enough to be seen by your eyes. A tiny script is only legible or readable with the help of magnifying glass. Readable, however, also means enjoyable to read. It is the main meaning of the word. It is an extremely readable book. In fact, I couldn't put it down. The same similarities and differences in meaning also exist between the negative forms of these two adjectives. Illegible and unreadable. Illegible and unreadable. Beth's handwriting is so small as to be almost illegible or unreadable. Brian's latest book is so boring that I found it completely unreadable. The sheet of paper seems to be blank. But when you warm it gently over a candle, the secret writing on it becomes illegible. The writing seems to consist a lot of complicated facts and figures. It may be illegible, but that doesn't mean it's readable.